What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Tech Bar. Today we are September 10th, 2020 on our, what is it, Sean, our fourth episode?
Yes, sir. Our fourth of our inaugural season of the Tech Bar. Yes.
Our inaugural season. And it's a first for a certain season we'll talk about later as well. But first off, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're always excited to see our wonderful audience members that come on and, obviously are part of the chat. Sean, how you doing, buddy? I noticed you got a very certain theme going on here.
Well, funny you should ask. I'm glad that you noticed. I wasn't sure if you would really be able to tell. However, yeah, I am actually basically still celebrating Labor Day. Yeah, and I decided to buy some matching, my bow tie. I was kind of thinking like, how could I really dress this party up a bit? I didn't want us to really lower our expectations or standards. So bow tie. The headband, it's really hot today too. I'm sweating, so the headband is really helping. And we're going to plow through this whole session today. So I want to make sure I don't have any problems.
You kind of got this whole, I want to say you're going to do this whole maniac on a roll, right?
I got my bucket of water. I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna dump water on myself in a minute. We're gonna do.
Nice, and it looks like we already have our first winning comment. My buddy Cucumber, no, actually Quentin Comer Technology Group, best RMMPSA consultant you'll ever find. Period. I don't say that lightly. He obviously he's talking about me. Why are you guys so attractive, camera ready, gentlemen? He saw me. He saw Larry, probably, right?
No, he didn't. Not Larry's not even on yet to even show him yet. So therefore, that's not Quentin. Thank you for. It's more than likely my hair. He probably knows the good hair.
Probably. I noticed you coiffed today, so I definitely appreciate it, dude. You look great. I don't know if you know, but I'm in full OIT garb, official Tech Bar clothing. And I've been actually asked if we could make these available for people to purchase. Can you believe that? How ridiculous is that?
Well, I think Quentin said really good-looking guys on a T-shirt. I mean, it worked for like Bud Light and all them, so I don't know why I couldn't work for us.
How many shirts have your face on them, right? So,
well, there's simply no way of telling. There's probably some dartboards.
And I'm very happy I have my my OIT hat here. Quentin bald men have to stick together. So, and the one and the only. The very first, talk about inaugural. Our first tank top episode, we had tank tops printed specifically for this gentleman. All right. This man, Tony, the tank top Francisco of Cloud Plus, freaking awesome. So, Tony, love you. Thank God you're here, bro. Really appreciate you.
Thank God.
So I don't want to take too much. We need the intelligence. We're at 17% and it's rising. And if you don't know where that's from, go watch last episode. So I don't want to take too much more time. We do have a guest today, Mr. Yes. Sean OG. Do you want to? I'll bring him on and maybe you can introduce him. How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. Let's get this rolling. So yeah, I brought him. Yes, my very good friend Larry Walsh from 2112 Group, certified genius in the space, professional shit talker, and very good at making fun of Tank Top Tony Francisco. Welcome, Larry.
And this is the perfect place for me because I drink and I know things. So I'm in the right room.
Well, we drink and we pretend to know things, so it actually works really well. And as is tradition. This is the Tech Bar. We're not just talking trash and having fun. We're drinking good drinks. I think we should start off. We always ask our guests what they're drinking. So, Mr. Larry Walsh, what are you imbibing today?
Well, anyone who knows me knows what I'm drinking. I am drinking the official liquor of the Walsh home and 2112 Writer's Tears, a fine Irish whiskey. I am. Much to the distiller's dismay, I am the official unofficial spokesperson for Writer's Tears.
Do they know that, or is just you selected yourself?
No, well, at first I earned this. I sat here and thought very hard about it, and I appointed myself through social media, which made it happen.
Makes it official.
It makes it official, and then they saw it happening, and we now have a very nice relationship. Even though there is no relation, it is. If you look at the label up here, it says who it's made by, and it's made, of course, by Walsh Whiskey Distillery. So
I love that.
Yeah. So,
any relation to you guys, or is that?
It's probably. I mean, look, we're
Could be.
we're Irish. I mean, hell, everybody's a cousin. But no, we've actually we talk a lot. And when I named my boat, I named it Writer's Tears, and they gave me the branding kit. And so the name of my boat actually looks like the logo.
That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty
So
cool.
you are.
Sean, so I don't know
officially-
if you know this. I like to talk about, or I've talked in the past about, what's his name? George Clooney, not Batman George Clooney. I like to think Ocean's 11 George Clooney. He made, what was it? Him and his friends made it was tequila, right? Or a vodka? It was Casamigos.
Oh yeah,
Tequila.
Tequila. There you go. And I know Tony's screaming right now in his house, tequila. So I'm thinking at some point maybe we should make our own liquor, or at least get something branded.
Yes, it's
Nice.
tequila. You're right. Casamigos. Yep. 2013.
And so the story goes, they went out and they were drinking, him and 3 friends of his, people with more money than God, and they didn't find any tequila they liked, so they decided to make their own, right? And they did it for themselves, and people started enjoying it. At least this is a story, right? This is a mythology behind it. And we'll talk a little about mythology versus science when we get into the Star Trek versus Star Wars portion. But people started enjoying it, and they actually made it for mass production, and that's how it took off. So I'm thinking we could do the same thing. We have good tastes, I would think, right?
I think we have enough years of experience to know what a good liquor is. I think we have that under pack, but I don't know under wraps. But I don't know about 2 good-looking guys on a bottle. I think that works well.
Nice. So Sean, what are you? 2 good-looking guys in a bottle. We have to get 2 other good-looking guys. So, Sean, what are you drinking, my friend?
Today, as always, I like to chase a booze with a beer, and I got it from the brewery right down the street of my house, Lincoln Avenue Brewery. I actually am drinking. I picked up my beer. This is called So Wheat. It is a very good, nice Pilsner Lager. It's Pilsner. Wheat beer, rather. I'm lying. Wheat beer. And then I'm doing Hendrix and tonic because it's a beautiful summer day.
Because it's always a beautiful summer day, of course.
It is.
And
especially in Pittsburgh.
And down the street, it's a beautiful day.
Done.
We got to get you set up so we can set up a camera so we can see outside your window at some point, right?
Actually, I just talked to the owner of the brewery. I'm probably going to broadcast from there in 2 weeks.
Very nice. I love it. I'm going to have to find a brewery here to do the same. I mean, I can't let you show me up like that. So in line with that, today I'm drinking and I'm cracking open a brand new bottle of, I'm going to be drinking Willet Distillery's, what do we got here? Their pot still cast strength, which I love the bottle, and it's highly reviewed, and supposedly it's really good. Even if it's not, I got a Genie bottle, so should be pretty awesome. Yeah. And like I said, we have no sponsors, but if any distillery wants to sponsor us,
or brewery,
yeah. So I see our good friend Keith Nelson's already on the chat, starting things up.
There he goes.
Is Larry Walsh done saying anything intelligent? I don't know if we started, but we have learned a little bit, so we'll go with that. Oh, dude. So Larry, I don't know if you've had the pleasure or the disdain of watching any of the previous episodes, but we do have some traditions here at the bar, as all good bars should have. In this bar, when someone says the new norm or namaste, we will be taking drinks. We will be taking shots. And since our good buddy Keith Nelson has already started us off with our new norm, he's just as bad as you are. So cheers, my friends. Welcome to the bar. Very happy to have you guys.
Welcome. I think I would like to put in
stuff. I like
to put in for a new word to be added to this list today.
Okay.
Because the word unprecedented. I think that should be added to the list at this point because
Yeah, it's Sean is a Chris Gonzalez who runs research at 2112. He said he's really looking forward to going back to precedented times.
I agree. I totally agree.
I'm very much looking for. Give me the old norm. Like, give me like. I'm so done with 2020. Please.
No, but Sean, here we actually have a game. We at 2112 we actually have a game that we throw dollars at each other whenever somebody hits buzzword bingo. And
Nice.
we have a client, I'm not going to say who, but he cannot get through a sentence without saying at the end of the day. And in one 1 hour call we had with him, he said at the end of the day a record 37 times.
Wow. We need a gong. We need like an official, man.
One of those little table gongs. Oh my goodness, yes. I don't know how many times. Well, first off, if you watch the news, you hear it every day. I never knew we had so many unprecedented moments in our lives. But this year, I mean, this is like a historical. This is like a historical year for us. I mean, we could tell our children about this later on. My grandchildren, your grandchildren, like how we lived through the most unprecedented year in the history of precedented years. I don't know. How's that work? How's that work out? I don't. Years. Yeah. 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 I don't know how to say that exactly.
We've had at least a couple of thousand.
Well, I will tell you, I did pregame a little bit, and so I'm sitting here trying to write this, trying to write the word unprecedented. I edited it like 6 times.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have our good friends Corey and Dave, or
Matt Damon.
If you're unaware. Matt Damon. Do we have? I don't want to call him Ben Affleck. Do we got another name? I mean, it can't just be.
No, he's just one. He's just Corey. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep the talent where it belongs, and let's keep the sidekicks where they belong. So, I mean, sorry.
And yes, Keith, I will look into Sean's window anytime. I think we hit 18%. I think I need Tony to keep track of the percentage.
Ray's a very good tree climber too, so he has no problem getting up in a tree looking through that window.
I'm a big dude, but I can get back up to the highest branch. I'll climb that trunk. Anyway, so we do have. I can't even find it anymore. The chat is on fire. Quentin Comer and brother, be safe. He's over in North California, sharing pictures that look absolutely terrifying. But you sponsor the drinking, and I will give you housing. You come down to Miami, get away from those crazy fires, brother. But yeah, wait, I think we have our first liquor sponsor.
You sponsor, I'll bring you to Pittsburgh. We'll hang out here at the brewery down the street. Way better.
I don't know if you know this, but Mr. Rogers is from Pittsburgh.
Yes, he is.
That's the most enticing tourism offer I've ever heard. Come to Pittsburgh.
Larry.
That's all you need when it's that good. That's all you need. Sean and Kevin were showing me. Kevin's our marketing director. They were showing us the stairs in Pittsburgh, which are absolutely terrifying, and they were so proud of this fact that they have these hills of stairs going up, like the stairs, like Rocky going up the stairs, right? Like, but it's just thousands of them, and it's different places. It's not one.
No, they're called city steps. They're called city steps. Yeah. And they're built
freaking crazy.
They were built because people that live up in like the neighborhoods have to get down to the bus lines or whatever, or just to get through places. And we have a ton of hills, so the city steps were built. They actually have a workout built around it. Yeah, there you go.
This is what they're trying to show me, as this is a reason to go to Pittsburgh.
That's not that is not that wasn't the reason why we sold.
Are you out of your mind? That's not
no. And to be clear, the story was brought up, and actually I was telling Larry this before he got on here. We were talking about my headband and my wristbands, right? Well, I bought my daughter. So let me back it up. Sophia, my 11-year-old daughter, I made this new rule recently. It's very hard to reprimand a kid at a certain age in any real good way that's really constructive, right? So instead of yelling at her, I decided that anytime she makes a major blunder, that I would wake her up early in the morning and we would go run the city steps. Okay. Now, mind you, she's 11. So yeah. So we started running them probably about a month ago. It's only happened a few times. She kind of learned her lesson. She backed up real quick, but she started complaining about the fact that her sweat was in her eyes. So I was like, okay, you're sweating your eyes, and that was her biggest problem. So I was like, okay, let's get these. So I ordered the most obnoxious headbands I can get, and then Now we wear them. Now she's even more pissed because she has to run the steps and has to wear the stupid headband. So that's it. And that's where the city step story came from.
So can I ask, what in the world is this in reference to? Should we keep calling Sean Robin?
When we were
you want
talking
to fill me in on this?
No, Batman and Robin we were talking about that day.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you know why?
That makes me Batman, right? At the Dark Knight.
I mean,
okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's it. Must be all that tree climb.
Yeah, I can do that.
All that trunk climbing you've been doing.
And Nolan Batman, not Ben Affleck Batman, and definitely not glitter vampire Batman. For love of God, no, absolutely not. So if
guys, what did I sign up for again?
We don't know. So I will say, if you're looking to come somewhere, right? If you're looking to go somewhere as a tourist attraction, and steps just don't call to you because that's not your thing. I mean, Miami also has steps along the beaches, So I'm just saying, if you're gonna pick one, running steps. I mean, or just saying, in this new norm, you want to be around some pretty stuff. Salute, gentlemen.
In the new norm. Oh, that was 2. Sorry, guys.
Oh, Dan, that hurts, dude. Danny, that you and I are going to have this conversation tomorrow. I will accept this if we can call Sean Mr. Freeze.
Why? Because I'm bald?
Dude. Well,
that's fine.
Anyway.
So let's talk about Larry. Hey, Larry.
Let's talk about Larry.
Yeah, why don't you give everybody that? I'm sure everybody on here knows you by now, but just for the sake of just in the event, in case of, tell us about 2112 Group and what you do, man.
Yeah, so we are, since we're drinking, I'll tell you the truth, we're the smartest kids in the room. We're celebrating our 10th year, but we decided not to celebrate given the the unprecedented circumstances.
Has that been added to the list yet? Do we have to drink for that? I
think we can do it in honor of Larry today.
There you go.
I would think, right?
Shit,
I agree.
No, we deferred our celebration to next year, so we can say that we go all the way to 11. The 2112, we do research and strategy work for companies in the channel so that they can get to market better. We do a ton of analytical work, analysis. We develop strategies. We help make programs better. We solve the problems with all the plumbing in the industry is what we do. If I told you who we work with, it's all the brands you recognize. But the truth is that the best work that we do is when nobody knows we're there, because our job is to make other people look better. So people call us when they have a problem, when they need to know something, when they're looking for guidance. And we help them solve the big, hairy problems that stand in the way of good partnerships.
Big, hairy problems. So like Ray. Okay, got it.
Wait. Are you complaining about this? Is that what we're talking about here?
Sure, Sasquatch. No, not at all.
You can call me Chewbacca, sir.
Don't get Larry all pissed off. He's gonna yell about Star Trek and Star Wars.
But
and
he knows which one's the better of the two.
Right. I don't discriminate against Ray for that.
Yeah. Yeah, we even accept that Larry says some intelligent things, not sci-fi movie related, but we accept that, we accept everybody here in the new norm.
Ray,
in the new norm. Dan drinks. Sorry.
Look, Ray, as you know, Trekkies have a rule. We don't talk about the odd number movies, as opposed to Star Wars fans that can't talk about all but 3.
We don't talk about prequels. We never say the J word, the Jar Jar. I don't disagree. The last 3 I don't dislike. So maybe I'm a bad Star Wars fan for that. I don't dislike the newer of the 3, and I definitely like the Solo story in Rogue One. So
that was actually a decent movie, but
I would agree.
Rogue One was a good movie. Solo was not bad. Seriously though, dude, you liked Rise of the Skywalkers?
It wasn't horrible. I mean, it was. I didn't say I liked it.
I don't
didn't
know.
hate
Don't know, Larry. I agree with you. First off, I thought Rogue One was the best of all the later movies.
Yeah, of course.
It really was. And Solo was okay. They could have been way better. But it was the better of the other ones. And then there's Heather Margolis with her 4-year-old loves. Of course her 4-year-old
Heather,
does.
you know I love you to death. You need to teach that child better. I mean,
let's just
if the child's going to love something.
Let's just tell Brian that I am not. I like Star Wars. I was thrilled. I was there in '77, standing in line to go into the movie when it first came out. But
yeah.
no, I'm a Trekkie through and through, as you can see back here.
So are you
That's one of those starship thingies right now?
Yeah, the ones that are based on actual science.
Well, I'm sure actual science allows for traveling to different planets and sleeping with as many alien species as possible. That's we're going with that.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that. I mean, they kind of look human as opposed to the floppy ears.
I mean,
so does that make you are you a Shatner fan, or are you the later guy? I mean,
all right. So Heather Margolis, who's on the chat, is also my fellow Trekkie and partner in crime on many things. The debate between Kirk and Picard is won by simply saying one word: Cisco. So yeah,
can you explain that one a little bit?
No, seriously. If you're a Trekkie, then everyone knows the coolest badass captain of the entire Star Trek universe is Benjamin Sisko from Deep Space Nine.
Huh.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I'm a Tiberius fan. I don't know.
Oh no, look, I'm still a Kirk guy through and through. I mean, but if you have to stack rank all of this, then that's where it goes.
And why is that? Why is he the baddest?
Oh, you just have to go through the entire, his entire character arc. He truly is one of these, he's philosophical. He's the epitome of a career officer. He's a great father figure. He's a great leader. But when he's pushed, he just kicks ass.
Did you see Kelvin's response? Look at Kelvin's comment. Put that up.
Which one? Benjamin Sisko was the ultimate badass.
No, but Picard is my surrogate father.
I mean, I think Sean could pull off Picard. There's certain traits, right?
Oh, really?
No, why not? Why not? There's certain traits you can pull off.
There's one trait. We're bald. That's it. Oh, we're white. I'm sorry. There's two. We're white and I'm bald. You got
male.
it.
That's 3. Okay.
Okay, 3. I look, but that guy's like in better shape, and he's like British or something, right? Yeah, I can't do. I don't know.
If we're gonna go floppy ear versus pointy ear, I don't. I don't know. I can't help.
I'm talking to the smartest person in the room, Larry. Isn't he British?
Who?
But that's not fair though. Because Larry gets paid to be smart. We get paid to be stupid. That's not a fair.
I agree. That's true. That's true.
Right?
Okay, good. Let's give it back to you, Larry.
Yeah, we're gonna expect you to carry the rest of this on, just so you know. We had nothing planned. So I did like Jerry Ryan though. Does that count? 7 of 9. I mean, she was hot.
Doesn't like Jerry Ryan,
right? I mean,
she's unprecedented. She's unprecedented.
She's unprecedented. I mean, 20 years later, she's still pretty amazing looking. I mean, good for her, man.
No. I mean, look, it's all about good storytelling, and I think. Oh, wait a second. What's Kelvin saying? What does Larry think about the reboot?
Wait, I want to see this though from Miss Kelly Francisco.
What about the new Star Trek?
Oh no,
movie?
not that one. I'm sorry, Mr. Brian Lichtig. Can you do any it's like that, right?
Block move? No, not really. I'm terrible at that.
Oh my God! Bang!
No. I want to talk about Kelly. I want to talk about Kelly Francisco's question because she's right. Tony Francisco is a mythical character. He does not exist. Plain and simple.
So if he was mythical, Tony would be a Star Wars character based on...
He would be, exactly. It's like, as I keep saying, every time I see Kelly, I say the same thing. Blink twice if you need help.
And for those that don't know, I think we had this conversation at CCS, right? You believe for the longest time that Tony Francisco did not exist, that he was a figment of imagination?
No. So here's the thing is that and I like to say this about Tony is that Tony is one of the, and Tony, you may want to hit record now.
Wow.
Tony has been one of the best foils I've had in social media. And anyone who's ever seen me, speak at an event or do things online, it's typically I need to have a focal point in the audience, and Tony serves that role very well in social media. He takes the barbs well, but I have to say, and he knows this. It's all in good fun. He's one of the smartest and hardest working guys I've met in the business, and I appreciate that he's out there.
Yeah, Tony. He was on last episode. And Tony, we've become fast friends. He's one of my favorite people. He gives you these nuggets of wisdom that if you're talking with him, he's just talking, just regular conversation, but he will drop these little bombs, these little nuggets of wisdom that you have to pause and think about what he's saying to get the full impact. And I always appreciate people like that because there's not a lot of fanfare, to what he says, but they're thought-provoking, insightful comments, which is always nice to have.
From my perspective, it's mostly I just have to
I would like to point out that Larry and I are never seen together. We're different but the same. Does that mean Larry also wears tank tops when we're not around?
Or is he the fully dressed version?
Trust me, the last thing you want to do is see me in a tank top.
So my question is, Tony, are you in a tank top right now? More than
he is. There's zero question about this.
Yeah, okay, let's return to our regular Tony and Larry relationship. Yes, Tony is definitely in a tank top, and he's probably Donald ducking around Tampa. So, I mean,
so I believe, Larry, this was the question you wanted to get from our good friend Kevin Tegelar. I'm going to butcher it. My good buddy over at Lime Networks runs a Cyber blog. It's not Tegelar. It's Tegelar. He corrected me at our conference.
Sorry,
but he runs a Cyberjane blog, which I tell people I wrote, so I look smart. But it's all him. So what do you think about the reboots, Larry?
I thought they did a nice job with them. I'm as a traditionalist, I'm not happy about the Kelvin timeline, but I think Star Trek Beyond is the last one of the reboots that they made was probably the closest thing to true Trek in a while. So I think I really enjoyed it.
And Star Trek Beyond being, what was that, a TV show, a movie?
That was the last movie they made.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, it's like if you now CBS is trying to do exactly what Disney's doing is mine the hell out of the franchise to make as much money as they can. But of all the new shows that they've come out with, Lower Decks is probably the closest thing to real Star Trek that we know it, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's a funny show. You should check it out.
What was that? What was the name of that again?
Star Trek Lower Decks. It's all about
Lower Decks.
It's an entire show about the characters you always see in the background.
Is like the guy that wears, you mean like the one that wears red that always gets killed?
Yeah,
the red suit.
Complete red shirt. Yeah,
that's always. And I mean, Ray, I don't know if you ever. Well, I know you're not a big Star Trek fan, but the reality is, you always knew who was going to die in the group that was going because the red shirt person always died.
Yeah. That poor person. I have heard that. I absolutely have heard that. So I will say, I jest about the Star Wars versus Star Trek. Star Wars, from birth, I was born in 79 and, watching this as I grew up, I appreciate all the Star Wars movies I've seen. I've never had one that I hated, even with the whales singing and all the nonsense. There's nothing I have against Star Trek at all. I've actually enjoyed them. I'm not one of those guys that, you said this and you should have done this since the last episode. And blah. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that just enjoys a good story. And to that, Star Treks have always been good stories to me. So, I do appreciate it. Speaking of good stories, I have something here. Let's see here. We have some pictures we want to talk about. Larry, can you tell us who this gentleman is? This fine young, speaking of handsome men that we talked about in the beginning of the episode.
Jesus, I knew this was going to come back to haunt me.
And you're welcome.
Yeah, so this is me probably circa 19, I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's 1987. That's me. I was newly minted soldier stationed in Mannheim, Germany in this photo.
Very
Beautiful
cool.
times. Actually, my mug is from Germany.
Mm.
Kaiserslautern, my favorite part of the Hannah.
Oh, I love K-Town.
I love K-Town, favorite place ever.
Yeah,
I would have stayed
K-Town's-
forever.
Yeah, K-Town is a great place. No, but yeah, that's that's that photo. That's yeah. I remember showing this to a channel chief years ago, and she looked at it and she goes, "Oh, you were such a baby, so cute." I'm like going, that's the photo of an American warrior, not the baby face is so cute. Thank
She
you.
wanted to squeeze your cheeks.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
adorable. That is
It's
kind
an
of cute.
American word. Well, in honor of Larry's post in Germany, Prost, gentlemen.
Prost.
Props.
And people ask me what I did in the army. I said I defended democracy one bar stool at a time.
Amen.
But those bar stools have never been safer. So you know what?
Yeah.
Or warmer.
True story though is that I was a communications and security specialist. At one point, they hand me this satchel, and I'm like going, I have no idea what's inside it. I start flipping through the pages, and it was the battle plans for the defense of Europe if the Russians ever came through the Fulda Gap. And I kept looking at it, and then here I am. I'm just this lowly enlisted guy, and I'm looking at these officers. I go, why are all the towns French names? And they said, because that's where we're going to be.
I'm not sure I like this here. We're getting a little merging of the storms here. So we have Mr. Keith Nelson saying, "I hope to live to be as old as those on the panel," and then Kelvin right behind him, saying our combined age must be 250. And I appreciate that you put it that low. Thank you, sir. Yeah. I appreciate you. Oh,
Carry with a gun.
I feel like that and this has to be on the same screen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that. Now, if that's not the recruitment poster for the military tomorrow, they're doing a disservice to all. I'm just saying.
It's either the Army or the Boy Scouts, one or the other.
It doesn't matter. We're both in service to the Barstools. It doesn't matter. So
don't worry, I'm gonna put them on Facebook for you right now, Larry. Don't worry, you're going up now.
Oh, you got to be careful because he's quick with that screenshots. We've gone a little crazy with the screenshots lately.
Oh, you have no idea,
Mr. Sean Lardo making peanut butter sandwiches earlier today.
I was. Yes, if that was really not expected, and it was a great picture of my good side. So actually, Larry, you'll appreciate this. My very good side, my best side, which was from way far away. So Larry, you'll appreciate this. Something a long time ago I was taught, and it worked out really well. What it was how to effectively communicate, like as a 4-year-old, if you're talking to a 4-year-old, because always the biggest problem is how do you communicate as a 4-year-old, or to a 4-year-old rather. So you have your team sit in front of you, and you say, okay, tell me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You have all the stuff sitting out in front of you, but you keep like the bread in the bag, you keep the jars, the lids on a jar, and you tell them to give you step-by-step instructions on how to do this. No matter what happens, and you pick 3 volunteers because it takes at least 3 or 4 people because they all mess up. And so we start with the first person, and no matter what happens in the first 10 seconds of saying, okay, you tell me exactly what to do, you have to rip the bag open no matter what, because they don't tell you to open the bag. They don't tell you to twist off the twist tie. I mean, you treat it very literal. So that's what this morning with our entire team, that was our this morning's meeting on how to make a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
And that's how we get to this. This is how we started the day, making PB&J sandwiches. Yeah, it's well, in these unprecedented times, we gotta make do with what we have.
Well, that's two drinks now because Larry repeated that shit. He pulled a Tony Francisco. That's what he did every single damn time.
Oh man, Tony, I think Tony and Keith have to have the record for the highest number of catchphrases during a show. Right?
Oh,
between it was nonstop, new norm, namaste, just back to back.
Well, you just all right. Yeah, you said it. So.
I know. Yes. Larry, you asked what the show's about. I think you're quickly finding out, sir.
You know, the funny thing is that I have a client call after this in Asia, so I'm going to be nice and lubricated for that.
well, it's good because if I've learned anything about Asian culture, it's that they're not really big on pomp and circumstance. They're very easygoing people. So in their business practices, yeah. So you're good. You're fine. We can join if you need to. We can do it live on the show.
You know what? We should probably bring him in because this is minor 7-figure contract. We don't need to worry about doing it. Yeah,
we can definitely do that. And while we're talking about things happening after the show, I just want to mention some stuff that's happening. Today, launch day. My heart is happy. This is almost as good as if there was a secret 7th movie that Lucas never released from the original series. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. Football tonight.
Such a beautiful day.
Oh, it makes me so happy. And with that, we are going to do something. You like that segue?
That was almost seamless.
Almost seamless. Yeah, that's what we go for here. We go for almost acceptable. That's the plan here at the Tech Bar. So we are going to do something new, and of course, I have no graphics or anything going here. America's team is back. Obviously, you're talking about the Dolphins, Keith. I agree with you 100%. So we are going to have our very own Pick'em League for the Tech Bar. We are going to have selections that are actually going to be open to the audience, that we are going to take selections for the next 2 weeks of certain games from our guests.
Hey, Ray, hold on. I think I hear something playing in the background still. So whatever you played is still running. Yes. I mean, I'm okay with that because I hear something about the spread, so it's going to help me with my picks.
No, we're good. I think it's off now, right?
Yes, you're good. Oh, look at that mug.
Okay. Oh shit, man. Wrong one.
Oh, shit. I didn't get there in time.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving along. So we're going to put the link out in the chat and here, and we want everybody to participate. There will be winners because we are a competition-based culture, ladies and gentlemen. There will be winners complete with bragging rights, and I think we're doing a trophy this year.
We are. Yes, we are.
There may be compensation in the form of I don't think my wife's listening, in the form of an Amazon gift card, $500. So this isn't recorded. She'll never see this. So yeah, there will be winners. And of course, for our guests, there are bragging rights. And since, our guests tend to know each other, bragging rights are very, very, very important. So we will put the link on there. But Sean, do you know who we got playing tonight?
Well, we were talking about this before we got on, and you're going to see the Super Bowl champions coming up, which, Kansas City. But Andy Reid is very, very much deserving of a Super Bowl. So you're going to see them against the Houston Texans. I think Larry already said he was really picking KC. I think he kind of went with it.
Picking KC as much as knowing that Houston's going to lose. I mean,
jeez. Larry does not hold back. I mean, that good, bad, or otherwise, you could say Larry never holds back. So,
I'm appreciate that. I have not dropped a single F-bomb. I'm holding back.
Oh, don't worry. After a few
fuck
drinks?
That. You can. Yeah, we have no pomp and circumstance here, sir. Fuck that. We don't have sponsors yet, but we're very happy to entertain any sponsorship interest from any distillery listening to the. So, but for now, it's open game, sir.
There you go. So
I just want to point out that I'm getting text messages from Heather Margolis instructing me on what I can and cannot do during this evening. I don't know. I mean, she's actually threatening me.
I like that she's not messaging me saying behave. She's going straight to the one that we have to worry about. I love that.
Okay. Is she still on? Heather, show yourself, because this is the funny thing about Heather. I've known Heather for a long time. I don't know when this happened. I'm partnered with her. We collaborate, but somehow I report to her. And it's just—
Is that a bad thing, though?
We truly do live in Heather's world.
Right. Yes.
I don't see how that's a bad thing, though.
No. I'm curious. What does Kelvin want to happen here? He wants tip the shirt off or take a shirt off, or what's going on there?
Sean rips Tony's shirt.
Ooh,
I mean, I can see that. So if you want to see Tony's shirt get ripped off, I suggest you follow him on Facebook. He is always doing
I mean,
so, I don't mean like I don't mean like Hulk, like
wait,
I
so
mean
like you want like a tank top on? You're saying like I should take my shirt off?
Oh geez, this is what happens.
I got
Welcome to the big show, sir.
I got dressed up for this thing. Now Tony's in the house.
Can't unsee.
You cannot unsee. Welcome to that, sir.
You are all welcome. And it's even my dress tank top. Don't worry, I'll keep the bow tie on for you.
Because he has a dress tank top. That's something you should know.
Yes. And I'm even going to put a bow tie with a bow tie. It's like a double bow tie. People know that shit's in style these days. All right, so Kelvin, there you have it. Done. Moving on.
Oh, geez. I don't even know what to do. So if you want to this is so bad. If you want to join our group, NFL 2020 Pick'em, as I do this on, I'm going to put the link live here. Anybody is free to join. And like I said, we will be tracking it, and we will be posting stats at future episodes. So be sure to register and have fun. I do not know where we're at in this show, sir. I have completely lost track of it.
Well,
this is Larry Walsh for our 2112 group.
Thank you for coming. Good night, all.
And this is for the best tank top moments. No.
So let's go back, Larry, to what you do, because especially in our world. What the fuck? Yeah, he did. But back in our world as a vendor, working with partners, we always try to address the need for, and the partners are always trying to address the ability to function better together to grow their business. That's the bottom line, right? And whatever that means. That's right, Kelvin. You knew it. So, and that's your whole entire positioning, right? Is to help the vendors and partners to grow their business together.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way.
I simplified it. Of course, I simplified it, but there's so much behind it.
Look, here's my. Oh, there you go.
That was good.
He's talked about this. I mean, I know he's been on like the internet, and I know has blogs, and I know he has this website. I know he does this professionally, but there's a few places where he's had more audience attention than anywhere else, and I think CCS 2020 was that place. That was the apex of his professional career.
No, Ray, I gotta tell you that I've done this year. I think I've done 75 events. Because we're all virtual now, so it's just constant. But I have to say, your event was top notch, and I had a great time doing it.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, and I will say,
being part of it.
Yeah, seriously, no, it was one of the better received sessions. Seriously speaking, it was awesome, and
despite James being there too.
Well, James is one of those guys. He just sounds intelligent because he's British. So
exactly,
he does. Yeah.
It's unfair. We could say the exact same thing, and then James repeats it. And he just sounds smarter than us.
It sounds way better.
So, like my wife only watches British television, and if you ask her why, and she'll tell you the reason is that British television is written by people who have read books. American television is written by people who have heard of books.
Do coloring books count? I mean,
no.
There's a lot of books out there.
Yeah. No, so but Sean, to what you were saying though is that my purpose in life is to demystify the business aspects of our industry. And whether I do that with vendors or I do that with partners or I do that with distributors, it makes no matter to me. Our job is to uncover truth. We provide direction, we provide guidance. And I said big hairy problems before. Sometimes it's just people want to get better. They come to us. It's the hardest thing for me to do is to help somebody who's doing a good job today get better.
Sure.
Because even though there's always room for improvement, there's always the opportunity to make things worse. Our first motto is we have a Hippocratic oath. We don't do harm. If we can't help you, we walk away.
So. And it's
speaking of big hairy problems. Have you ever tackled a hairy problem like this?
So true story.
I mean,
When
it's
Sean,
a valid question.
when Sean and I first met, that's what he looked like.
I mean,
I,
well,
I believe that.
that's because I looked more like Patrick Swayze when we first met. I had my hair Swayze'd and shit. It looked good.
Too
So,
soon.
You
can
look
I make
all
a joke?
Roadhouse.
I mean, but I did have a good beard though. Actually, when we met, I
Are
did
we
have.
talking Roadhouse or are we talking Ghost? Because he's invited me to make some clay shit sometimes, and I'm like, dude, not no, we're not that
You
close.
Ray, you just went full Francisco.
I did. I think we're at 21%. Tony's keeping track for us.
Oh, I also want to point out that Spock in all the newer movies, which are very good by the way, is from Pittsburgh too. Just want to point that out.
Spock is a Vulcan, sir. I know very few things, but I know that.
Zachary Quinto is the actor. He's from Pittsburgh. Just want to say.
You mean the dude from Heroes?
Yes, he's from. Yes, he did. He had the watches and shit. Shyler, it's been so damn long.
Danny's gonna jump in 2 seconds. I promise. Danny knows this shit. Danny, who was Zachary Quinto in Heroes, dude?
And by the way, Tony, what are you laughing about? Are you laughing about my dress tank top? I mean,
I think he's jealous of your dress tank top.
I don't blame him. I mean, and the double bow tie. It's like double rainbows.
I don't disagree, Keith. Siler, there you go. Thank you, sir.
See, I was close. I said Skylar. I think Skylar was on Gem or something though. So
Skylar was the wife from freaking Breaking Bad, dude.
Oh man, you're right. But long before Breaking Bad, she was on Gem, that cartoon I watched with my daughters.
I hate to bring this back to something somewhat resembling to decorum and professionalism, but Larry, let me ask you the real question here. You're not the only one saying the market's doing this and we should be doing this and reading the tea leaves. What makes you right?
I'm me.
Ooh.
Why should we listen to you?
I'm me. The end. Wow, that was like a
I'm
mic
sorry.
drop.
I mean, it's a valid question, right? I mean,
it is a valid question. There are a lot of smart people out there, and there's a lot of there's no shortage of people pumping bullshit into the market either.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, is that we're very careful about the things that we say. We are very careful about the advice that we give. The one thing is that one of the things that makes us different is that we don't bullshit people for bullshit's sake. We tell people, even to our detriment, and God knows, and Tony, please, and actually Keith Nelson knows this as well, and he'll vouch for this. I care to the point of where I don't care what people think.
Do you want to really reference Keith here as your source of truth?
No, I say that because
he's being very clear, saying you use Tony's brain.
No. But the truth is that I'm not afraid of. I don't shy away from controversy or debate. Neither does my team. Is that we tell you what we think, even if you don't want to hear it. And that's the thing, is that that's why we say, there are a lot of companies out there that provide consulting services, strategy services, research. What we broker in is contextual intelligence. We tell you, we get you the information and tell you what it means to you, not just throwing out a number that says, hey, just because the market's doing this, there's a great idea. Trust me, if you listen to all the talking heads out there, and again, no disrespect to them, they have their point of view, they have their product. But they'll say, hey, look, security, great opportunity. It's growing. Get into security. No, don't. Please stop. Let's talk about what it means to you. And then we can talk about rational approaches to getting into parts of the market, or how you serve the market well. And that's the thing that we're different. We're not sitting here saying just because there's a huge opportunity out there that you should go jump into it. We're sitting here, let's talk about what actually makes sense for you. And when we talk with the companies, the vendors that we work with, because vendors pay us to help partners. We don't have a single partner that pays us, because the vendors pay us. And when we go out there, we're telling them, look, here's what it means to you, not just a bunch of numbers.
So you're not known for holding your tongue. I think Tony, there's one of his other nuggets that he drops. Larry equals no sugar added, #truth. I'm not sure. I don't think you're supposed to use good capitalization and sentence structure when you use hashtags. I don't know, man. They screwed up the word literally. Anyway, I hate the generation. Anyway, so but I know. I'm sorry. And there goes our sponsorships. But one thing as I've followed you, as we've had conversations, I think Tony's right on the money. Whether you're working with that vendor or not, you're not scared of telling the truth, even though somebody may not want to hear it.
Well,
and I think that has a lot of value.
Let me qualify that. Is that I will tell you what I think the truth is, or my interpretation of information or intelligence. Does it mean I'm wrong? No, I'm not infallible. My team is not infallible. My standard caveat is that I could be wrong. I'm often not, and that's because that we are, nothing is guaranteed. And if you look, there's a great book I recommend, and people who also know me know that I'm an avid reader. There's a great book that I recommend people read called Thinking in Bets, by a woman. Her name is Annie Duke. She's a PhD in psychology, and she's also a professional poker player. And she talks about probabilities. And so that just because there's an overwhelming probability of something happening, it doesn't mean it will. So to give you an example, and not to get political here. Yep, there it is. One of the things that she talks about in the book is the 2016 election, where Hillary Clinton was overwhelming. The polls said that she was going to win, something like 84% of the polls said that she would win the election, that she had an 84% chance of winning. And then they said, well, the pollsters were wrong because Trump won. No, the pollsters also said Trump had a 16% chance of winning. And it was the 16% that actually came out on top. Same thing happened. She cites it in the book as well about the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl, where Pete Carroll called the pass instead of the rush on the goal line. And if you look at it,
times.
Yeah, but if you look at it, is that the rush was actually a good call. I mean, the pass was actually a good call because it should have, more times than not, it should have worked. But it just so happens that Butler was in the way, and the better team won. As simple as that.
Oh, I think that's a bad example because they should have ran the ball. Let's be honest. You have the number one running back and one of the top running quarterbacks in the backfield. You don't run the ball. Separate conversation. Just say, Pete Carroll's known for bad calls.
I don't disagree.
I mean, you had a guy that ran the ball so hard in a playoff game that Seattle had an earthquake because they cheered for it. I mean, that's how. I mean,
I understand. But
iconic.
You know what? You play the percentages at that point,
but even if they're expecting it, it didn't stop them the entire game. So
no, right?
Why not do it again? Right?
And I agree playing the percentages, but okay. So being a Steeler fan, I'm a Jerome Bettis fan, and one of my good friends from Boston that's a Patriots fan. He even said, he's like, and this is years ago when Bettis was playing. He goes, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
you're gonna get 3.5 yards and a smoke pile, right? Basically, you're gonna get all the dust up in the air because that's Jerome Bettis coming at you. Ben Roethlisberger's first season, Jerome Bettis ran the ball over and over and over again, and they couldn't stop him, and that's why he kept going. So I don't know. You have the number one running back in the league, arguably one of the best ever in the history of running backs, and you pass the ball. I don't know.
So
it was a give me.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm looking at the chat. If you don't mind me asking something, answering a question, Ray, is that so? Brian's asking, who's my biggest client? My biggest vendor client.
I was going to private chat you. I wasn't sure if you were comfortable answering that.
Yeah, no, I don't mind saying. Look, and as I said before, is that the best work that we do is when nobody knows we're there because we make kings and queens. We're not here to be one. But we work with some of the largest and the smallest vendors in the market. If you look at our client roster, we work with everyone from IBM to Microsoft to HP. We've worked with Cisco. We've worked with Dell. We've done programs with Ingram. We're currently working with Tech Data, D&H. We're agnostic to technology. We work across hardware, software, cloud. services. Last year, I actually had the most fun. I built a channel program for a commercial HVAC company. So talk about stretching, your imagination a little bit. So we actually the train commercial air conditioning channel was built by 2112.
I don't think that most MSPs who are really the core audience here, and there were that's talking in the chat. I don't think they realize, MSPs are pitching to clients or prospective clients. Don't do things in-house, engage subject matter experts, engage industry professionals that have a network of peers and that they can rely on to answer anything that comes up. I think it's easily missed that vendors are doing the exact same thing, right? It wasn't until Sean came on that we started realizing how many people it takes to really run this village. Between our partnerships with with Heller Margolis and with Web Infinity and getting insights from you and working with strategic partners like Tony and Kelly over Cloud Plus, it takes such a monumental number of people, and bringing in all the insights, it's a struggle sometimes also to weigh everything and say, this is a value, this we can kind of ignore, this is important. And we don't always have the opportunity either to sit there and say, we need to go back and look and say, how many blog posts do we have that have a Lego Batman? You know what I mean? They're hard decisions. I'm saying being a vendor is hard. I don't think it gives enough,
I love that,
enough credit for this.
So it's. I agree with you because it's. I spent 20 years as a journalist in various forms. I was a newspaper reporter and editor for 10 years, and then I moved over to magazines and specifically in tech. I spent a good amount of my time in security, and that before I came over in the channels. There's a lot that goes on that people don't understand. And one of the things that our industry needs to do better at is to stop thinking that technology is the answer. Technology is the tool. The answer is what you do with the tool or the outcome of the tool. And that's where when we talk with MSPs, I've spoken at IT Nation several times. I've worked with ConnectWise, Datto, Continuum. We have a MSP program that's been running now for 3 years with SolarWinds. We do SolarWinds as MSP research. We talk about this frequently, is that it's great that you deliver a good service, but you need a better story. You need to have better contact with customers. We did a report with Ingram Microcloud that came out a couple of months ago about end users' experience with the channel in cloud products. And I have to look at the numbers. It was something like 58% of the time, end users will turn to their MSP or their VAR for advice on cloud. But the MSP only captured the sale 11% of the time. And they're losing contact somewhere in the process. And that's a problem.
What do you think that is?
I think part of it is that there's a lack of understanding about what they're actually being asked, and that's opening up an opportunity. I think it's a lack of the tools and resources because a lot of this is happening digitally. So a lot of partners don't have omni-channel capabilities where they're actually able to capture and track and engage customers through different mediums. I also think that there's a fair amount of just apathy, is that they're trying to, or not apathy, but just being overwhelmed. That's not what I do. So I point them off in another direction and they lose the sale.
So I want to take the opportunity real quick. We have, and in that tome, vendors working with their MSP clients or whoever their clients happen to be. We have an amazing relationship with our partners. We don't call them clients, we call them partners because that's exactly what they are. It's a shared relationship. I want to point out our good buddy. He's been a partner of ours for quite some time, Eric Smith, over at Geeksmith. He is normally on these calls of Geekbox. I apologize. Eric Smith of Geekbox. He is normally on these calls. He actually messaged me on Discord, where you can always find us. and said he's not able to attend. He wishes he could attend, but because he's off on his anniversary trip to Tybee, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, Tybee Island, Georgia. But he wanted to, say he missed us. And cheers to Sean and myself and everybody else. So happy anniversary, brother. I mean, dude's on his anniversary. He should be doing something else, but he's saying hello to us and
fishing. You should go fishing.
We appreciate that. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Cheers, Eric.
Cheers to you, Eric, and your wife. Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Congrats. Yeah. And I think you should probably pull up the Brian comment about Larry Walsh for president all of a sudden. I mean, I think that's so fitting.
I want to ask that.
He's gone from never hearing about who I was to wanting me to be president, which is fantastic.
It shows you how shallow Brian is. He's from Baltimore. They take what they can get. Sorry, Brian.
Of the new MSP association. That's what he's saying. Of the new MSP. He's qualifying that.
Okay.
So in line with that, in closer communication, because you said, Larry, right? You said MSPs will reach out to their vendors when they need some kind of, pre-qualification, sales engineering, product qualification, whatever that is. We take it a step further, and then we just talk shit with our partners all the time. We make ourselves intimately available.
Yes.
Glenn from Mighty Manatee has said that if we were any more available, you'd wake up next to me, which I take that with a great sense of pride. Do you find awkward? Well, it depends. Glenn's a sexy dude. I mean, I'm just saying.
There's a lot of love. Let's be honest.
There's a lot of love.
I mean,
but the question is, we know the vendors that are doing this, right? Lifecycle's doing this. We see this all the time. Cloud Plus is engaged, right? Tony Kyle Kelly is engaged regularly.
Yeah.
Are the big vendors taking that seriously? I'm seeing vendor Slacks pop up every now and again, but it's still not commonplace.
So look, here's this is where things do get awkward. Is that
I love it.
He's about to say we're doing it wrong. Jesus. Okay.
No,
actually, no. I think we're doing fine with it.
You're doing it right, and you're doing it well. But the question is that can you sustain it? And as you continue to grow, will you be able to sustain the resources to maintain that level of intimate contact? And the reality is that if you go and you look at the large vendors do have exceptionally close relationships with the partners that do the highest contributions.
The 1%ers, right?
Yeah. So whenever you hear, someone invoke a Pareto rule, the 80-20, right?
Mm-hmm.
They think that is an actual rule, that there is a true line at 80-20 that defines the performance ratios. And it doesn't actually work out that way. We've looked at companies. In fact, let me just get the rule out there. If I name a company, it's because it's in the public domain. What I'm talking about is in the public domain. I don't violate confidences. If I speak ambiguously, it's because I can't tell you.
No, yeah, you're walking a tight line. We get it. I understand.
So we've looked at a company. We worked with a company that everyone here would know, and they're considered to be very successful and be very channel friendly. And we know that most of their revenue is driven by their top 2% of partners. Everyone else is transactional and opportunistic. And it is astounding if you actually get to see behind the scenes and what actually goes on in these programs. The problem is that once you start going up and you start getting into the nosebleed sections of that $1 billion revenue and above, and you have thousands or tens of thousands of partners, it's really hard to maintain that. You have to have automation. And even at that level, there is no better medium for motivating and drawing performance out from partners than human contact. Channel account managers are absolutely the best way of influencing partners, bar none.
So I see Tony's comment. We're not going to let that slide. But,
no. We're here for the main purpose is to have drinks. You're right, Tony.
No, but hold on. Wait. I want to go down this path though, because I'm going to call you on this. All right. I'm not going to, I'll give you the respect of holding you to what you say. I understand the scalability issue.
Mhm.
Shouldn't vendors of any size have community champions that their singular role is engagement? Because like you said, the more engaged you are, the more revenue is going to get produced.
Well,
That's a fact. I mean, we see
I,
that all the time.
Sure,
mean,
but
let me if I'm interjecting real quick. The one thing when I worked in the same space as Larry, where it was talking about enablement of vendors and partners, there's not many companies that have an intimate relationship with all of their partners, that they're on social media, they're on Discord, they're talking to them on a daily basis. They usually will focus on that top, what he's saying, even top 2-3%. They're major producers they talk to a lot, and they don't see all their partners until the next conference.
And I think
they're
that's
having a party.
problem. I'm not saying that the C-suite should be doing this. I'm not saying VP level should be doing this. There's going to be a day where we're going to get to a size where I'm going to have to hire somebody to do my job so I can play in Discord all day. That's the truth. But the truth of the matter is, regardless of what happens to what we scale, our core values are still partner engagement. We will still have somebody or somebody's multiple people doing those roles. They have to. We can't lose touch, because the minute we lose touch, I feel we're gonna be at a deficit.
Ray, look, I agree with you. I understand exactly what you're saying. Fine, Tony.
Fucking Tony.
I tried saying that and nobody listened, Tony. I was on your side, Tony. I agree.
So Ray,
and I like that our own team is fucking backing this shit up too, right? Matt's right behind saying, "Go get him."
First off,
I'll get you tomorrow.
Tell Grandpa to go to bed.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing: is that I hear you. I understand. And I appreciate what you're saying. What I'm telling you is that, and this is what most partners, whether they're resellers or MSPs, don't understand, because the vast majority of the market is comprised of small businesses, less than $5 million in top line revenue. Okay. Right. Those businesses are not interesting to the large vendors.
Right.
They are, and the reason why you have a lot of the mechanisms that exist out there is because they're trying to maintain that very broad base of very shallow revenue without interruption, with a minimal amount of effort. And it's very hard to maintain that when you go high, because look, let's just take, if you have to dedicate people to CDW or SHI versus, ABC computers on Main Street, which one gets the attention? The one that's generating $2 billion a year in sales for you.
Right.
And that's just the, the math. And I think that's part of the problem. 2112 started, one of our first clients came to us because they were getting beaten up in CRN continuously. So they would make some program announcement, and then CRN would literally bash them, and they'd always quote the same partners. And they came to us and said, well, how can we get them to talk to the right partners? So I was like, well, what do you mean? Is this company a partner of yours? They said, oh yeah, they're authorized to resell, but they do like $5,000 a year in sales, as opposed to the partners that are actually engaging with their customers and doing the large volume of sales and have the big customer engagements. And that's the difference. And that's how vendors look at the channel. They have very clear lines of segmentation and differentiation about the value that's being delivered. So
agreed.
So we'll ask a quick question here. Somebody's asking, or Kelvin's asking, not somebody, Kelvin is asking, where's 2112 come from? What's the genesis of that?
This is fun. So
you heard him. That's it. That's the answer to the question. The genesis is there you go. He was drinking he was drinking in the new norm, and he had a little too much, and he went 2112.
And then he was drinking during these unprecedented times as well.
So
you're a bad man.
That's another one. Sorry. You're welcome, Tony. I'm gonna get this rolling.
Oh, namaste. Oh shit, namaste.
Fuck. Another one. Thanks, Matt Damon and Corey, and just Corey.
So I was a journalist, and I became a journalist because I couldn't get my novel published. and the reason why I couldn't get my novel published is because it was awful. But
what was the name of the novel?
It's not important.
I mean, you're going to do this. Was it a river of tears? Like, what was it? Yeah, come on.
Oh, it's just love song to Tony Francisco.
I could see that.
I saw that on an infomercial one night.
Yeah.
You were singing the infomercial that one night.
I get excited.
No, so
Tony, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. 2110, 2111, 2112. Ha ha ha.
Now you're
in the new norm.
Yes. Now we're off and running.
So 2112 comes from the Rush album 2112.
Does it really?
Does it?
Yep. And it's because the book that inspired me to become a writer is called Anthem by Ayn Rand. And it is also the book that the album 2112 is based on. So it's an homage to my two muses as a writer and content creator.
And by the way, that came from Matt Damon. Thank you, Matt Damon, for being involved.
From Castle Rock. I mean, do we have the smartest partners or what? That is some badass shit. I'm impressed.
Now,
and I'll go ahead and put this up since you mentioned the book.
Oh no! Mind you, though, is that there is a photo out there, Ray, of me with Rush.
Seriously?
Yeah.
And I'm Googling.
And I stood there with Geddy Lee, and I told him, I said, "Hey, I named my company after you guys." He goes, "You named your what?" I said, "Yeah, my company's called 2112." He goes, "Oh Christ, another one." So
now we're talking Rush the band, not Rush Limbaugh, right? Like, just I want to make sure I want to have the right Rush.
So I mean, so funny story, Ray, is I keynoted the first Spiceworks partner conference.
Wow.
Okay.
And here I was, as I'm walking out on stage, Jay Hilberg says to me, he goes, "Oh, we're broadcasting this live to the virtual viewers." And I'm like going, "Oh, cool." I didn't think anything of it. So they get out there and they go, "Yeah." And he introduces me, go, "Yeah." And then obviously Larry from 2112, he's a big Rush fan. And all of a sudden the live stream chat that was going on at the time was literally bashing Spiceworks for having me as their keynote. How dare Spiceworks become political, bringing a Rush Limbaugh guy onto the speak?
Wow, that is fucking awesome.
Because it only takes one headline. You know that
they literally had to intro my keynote so we could clarify which Rush.
I mean, and when we say it only takes one, I want to be clear. You're talking about it only takes one. Is that what you're saying? Like, and the reason I bring that up is because on every episode we talk about who our guests, what celebrity they might look like.
This is who I've selected.
Is Sean's pick. This is Sean's pick. And I can see it. I can see it mostly because I've seen you in a cape, mostly. But
I mean, really, we've had Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, Tony. We've had Matt Damon. We've had Alan as Mr. Bean in that video. We watched this commercial. We've even put Matt Conley up there that looked like the guy from Half Baked. I can't remember his damn name to save my life.
we Googled this last time. That was a rabbit hole.
But here we are, Larry. This is the new you in the new norm.
In the new norm.
All right.
Cheers, my friend. And may you protect the realities.
Hey, don't worry, Larry. This isn't your show. Just walk away.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, you're not a cherished guest on this show or anything. I don't want you to think like your participation's needed or warranted. It's cool.
Wait a minute. This is an unprecedented event. He's the first one to do this.
Wait, he's back and he brought.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. I want to, and don't answer this yet, Larry. I want our audience to answer. How many bottles of Writer's Tears do you think he has at his home? And we'll see if we can't get. I've been asked for these hats, these OIT hats. We'll see if we can't get one to the closest answer. We will give you 10 seconds to answer. While we're waiting for that 10 seconds,
Calvin was so quick on that.
He was like, I know. I called him and I asked. No,
bottles, Danny. He said bottles, not cases.
Danny. And you're exempt, Danny. You work with us. You're exempt.
Yeah, you're not getting shit. And you know what, Tony?
So,
You're right. No one told us we could walk away. Thus, unprecedented. Here's your
hold
drink.
on. It's unprecedented. And Tony's full of shit because we all took pee breaks in the last freaking episode.
Amen. Amen. Maybe Tony didn't.
Not like whatchamacallit, during the Corey and Dave episode, our inaugural, there was 4 freaking hours. I mean, we had a telethon. I'm pretty sure we cured a few diseases. You know, we were able to support the PBS network for the next 365 days. I mean, this was a true marathon of a show. So
by the way, Mr. Rogers saved PBS, just in case you didn't know. Mr. Rogers saved PBS. You're welcome.
Of course he did. Of course he did. And he's still saving it to this day. That's why they're asking me for my 1995.
There's an actual video of him talking in Congress about it and them getting the funding. Just want to say.
And can we say, speaking of PBS Star Trek tie-in, Mr. LeVar Burton, Reading Rainbow, those badass motherfucker Star Trek. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway,
wow. Yes.
Take a look, grab a book. It's the Reading Rainbow, bitches. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I don't want to, do any copyright infringement.
I somehow feel like
Kunta Kinte.
Yes, he was Kunta Kinte. You're absolutely right.
He was also known as Toby.
So all right. So Larry, let's hear the answer. How many bottles of Writer's Writer's Remorse? Writer's Tears.
Writer's Tears. Available in most liquor stores.
How many bottles?
So how many bottles do you have at home, sir?
Currently, I'm low. I'm at 2.
I was going to say 3.
Nobody called that.
But I'm usually about a case or better.
Here's my problem. I expected better of you, Larry, because my problem is now I have to ship again to the Netherlands because Mr. Kelvin Tehelar is in the freaking Netherlands. You can go to oit.co/swag and you can get swag if you're one of our partners. And of course he went, and we had to figure out how to ship over there and what the cheapest way is. So thanks for that, Kelvin and Larry. I appreciate that.
Oh, Matt Connolly already corrected us too by Jim Brewer. Just want to point out. Thanks, Matt.
No, Matt, that's way too late, bro. That's way too
Matthew Scarson, as you answered.
He's like, I got this. No, bro. No, that doesn't count, man. That doesn't count.
That's awesome.
Oh.
And look, so look at Matt Connolly's picture, right? Look how clean cut he looks. Now, can you find the picture?
Yes. Are you talking about the woods?
Yeah, the unicorn. No.
Oh, I gotta find that.
I spent the Jim Brewer picture of us with the unicorns. Just show that picture instead.
Oh, so, I gotta find that. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll continue. I will find that.
Yeah. So Matt looks very clean cut there, right? Larry, you met Matt before. You met him at Channel Partners with me and DC. He was there. He worked for me for the past several years. You've met him. He's a very
I've never heard of him. Oh, wait, we were like brothers. Yeah.
So, but he looks. Well, pull up that picture of him again on his comment. Look how clean cut he is.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay,
and,
so look,
Matt, if you can send us your link to that Hey video, I would really appreciate it.
That is definitely the before meth photo.
Yes, it is. And that
is before meth.
He's been using that picture. He's used that picture for like 5 years, 6 years now, so it doesn't count.
But hold on. My professional shot, my LinkedIn shot, doesn't have a beard either. So,
no, but it's not a beard.
Shot.
But that's a 6-year-old picture. No. But go ahead, show him now. Do you find it?
Are you talking about this?
And there we are.
And for the record, he wasn't drunk at this picture.
None of us were drinking yet. Horrible.
We were going to drink later after IT Expo at the event.
We all look horrible. Well, you look fine, Ray. You look normal. You have a very good smile. I
hold my liquor well, sir.
Please, let's just be honest. This is a photo you show kids so they don't get in the van.
Yeah. This is the equivalent. This is the equivalent of the skillet with the cracked egg. This is your brain on drugs. Like that. That's like, yes, that's about right. That's
I think that's fantastic. And so the unicorns. Were they unicorns? Well, are they? That was. Okay, so in all fairness, that was at IT Expo. Okay, so that was after a
So
long
that makes
day.
it better.
No, that's after a very long day of working on the floor, which Larry will respect that part because he's been to many conferences and they don't end all day
No, they
long.
don't.
You're just
Nonstop.
going and going and
Oh,
going
man.
and going.
Come on, let's
We
just
went
be
to
honest.
bandwidth. Go ahead, Larry.
No, I was just going to say, let's just be honest. One of the actual benefits of this pandemic is that we've broken the events and convention conveyor belt.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I miss it though. I miss it dearly.
We all miss it.
And that's where CCS came from. That's where Tech Bar came from. I mean, yeah, sessions and booths and whatever. Yeah, I hated that. It was absolute monotony. It sucked. And schlepping gear and that sucked. But the sitting at the bar, sitting in the conference hall, sitting in the hallways, having those conversations, that was the best part of any one of these events. I miss that dearly.
I don't disagree with you though, but at the same time, right now we're putting on a show. And I'm hoping that the people who are watching here are enjoying it, and they may get something out of it. Maybe some pearls of wisdom will come out. God knows we'll have to wait for Heather to come on for that to happen.
That's in a few weeks, by the way.
It is in a few weeks, I know. So,
yeah.
But the truth is that we have learned through this experience that we can do things differently, and in some cases better. And yes, I agree with you. I miss the human interaction. But at the same time, I'm enjoying the gains in productivity that I have. I'm enjoying, there's these people that I would, up until the pandemic, I thought I lived amongst ghosts when I was home. Turns out they're called family. And I've gotten reacquainted with them. And they're lovely people. Not sure if I like them yet, but I'm becoming fond of them.
I think we all understand that, actually. But
yeah.
But you know what, though? Before this, we used the word productivity. We were always, I don't know, I feel like I was always productive, even at conferences, before, during, and after conferences. But I felt like it was front loaded on the conference, right? We'd put so much effort into it, work our ass off. We would get to a conference, we would start educating on it, and we would work those long hours during the conference, especially for us on the East Coast that would fly to Vegas often for conferences. Those became very long days. Because it's like it's 9 o'clock in Vegas, and for us it's midnight on the East Coast, and we're so it became very long days.
If I can paraphrase, what Larry's saying is, in the new norm, he feels more productive. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, that's what he said just now. New norm.
We're creating liver damage for. I feel so bad for that client he's meeting with later. That prospect.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that to yourself.
Ray, if I miss my quarter, it's on you.
We'll make it up. Heather will be on in a few weeks. We'll make it up, dude. It's on Sean.
We'll send you a hat.
We'll send that makes the difference.
That makes everything better.
A hat and a unicorn. We will send you the two of them. So okay, Calvin, we have a real question here. We have. I know Sean's like, shit. It's business.
Damn.
Larry, I'm just any advice for a new?
Wait. I'm just wondering.
Go ahead, man.
I didn't know Pittsburgh had electricity. That's amazing.
Well, the Amish, they produce it. It's really nice. So
well, we know they don't play baseball, so they might as well do something.
Whoa! Coming from the Miami guy, I mean, does Miami have a team yet for football? Just out of curiosity.
We have beaches.
Oh, good, because you don't have football fields that are really packed up at all. And
you know what?
Look,
in all deference to Ray, I've been to Hard Rock Stadium. It's a great place to see a movie.
So I want to be respectful to. I don't want to butcher your name. Is it Shiva or is it Shivagrid? Because I've never heard Shivagrid.
I feel like it's Shiva.
And please correct me. Well, I know 1,000 Shivas. I mean, that absolutely.
Correct.
But if your name's Shivagrid, I mean, you're number one in my book. That's pretty fucking awesome. So correct me in the chat if I'm right or wrong. But let's answer this question. And since we're talking about football, I think we can go straight to the pick'em right after this. I know Sean's dying for that. Especially since, the Steelers aren't playing this week. Or playing tonight.
Well, they're not playing tonight, but this week they're playing.
Right. Yeah, they're getting on the field. I don't know if they're playing.
so it's okay.
Yeah. So, Larry, any advice for new or micro MSPs? We're still developing our procedures, so it seems like a good opportunity to develop them correctly. And I will go one above, and I'll put you on the spot. If you're a brand new micro MSP, what's the first vendor besides OITVOIP that you sign up with?
Okay. This is one of those situations where I don't have enough information to give you any meaningful advice. I would say to you, though, is think about defining your value proposition from the beginning and leading with that. And in delivering best of breed, great IT services is not a value proposition. You need to develop a story. The other thing I would say too is create a business plan 12, 24, 36 months out. 47% of MSPs do not have a business plan. 58% do not have a sales goal or annual sales plans. And there's something like 53% have no strategic plans for growth. So map out your course forward and what your value proposition is going to be, and you will have a much easier time growing your business.
So, touching on that real quick, and I know Sean's like, we talk business all day. I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
no,
Sean. We will get
I'm
to
okay
it in a second.
I have some questions for this too to add to, but go on.
Okay, so I'm going to call bullshit because it may be a matter of the MSPs we talk to. I am in the good fortune to talk to roughly 200,000 MSPs at varying times, month to month. I would say the ones without business plans that get started are in the high 90s. It may be the quality of new MSPs that you talk to that may be why your number's so low.
No, Ray, you misunderstand me. When I say 47% don't have a business plan, what I'm actually saying is the other 53% are lying.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because you know what they say, 90% of statistics are made up 87% of the time on the spot. So no, but that's the truth though. They don't have business plans. And I ask them, it's MSPs, and we had this conversation in Discord the other day of, vendors approach it from a different perspective. And my thing is vendors are more prepared. Typically a vendor will have a business plan. They'll have a run rate they're looking for. They'll have a revenue goal. They'll have a plan for who they're hiring. They'll have the 12, 24, 36 and 60 month goals and ways of and milestones to keep track of how to get there. It's rare to see an MSP actually have that, much less on paper.
This is an old joke, but it's a good one. How is a partner born? Now we say partner, I mean a reseller or an MSP. How is a partner born? Well, there's two ways. One, they get laid off from IBM, Microsoft, Cisco, and they start a business. And two, they escape their parents' basement or a room that looks like yours, Ray. Now,
so in here we have, thanks to Dave and Corey, namaste, my friend. Namaste.
Horrible.
Which is our way of saying fuck you, by the way.
Yep, go fuck yourself, basically.
But Ray, here's the thing, is that when we look at again, invoking the 80-20 rule, when we look at the 20% that's generating 80% of the business in the market, it's because they tend to structure their businesses more like the vendors that they work with. They align with the vendors that they work with, and the ones that are actually born out of vendors, meaning that they worked for vendors and they decided to either jump out on their own or they were compelled to because of changes in the business. They use their contacts within the vendor organizations and they leverage that to build their businesses. And they are the ones that actually become the $100 million, $500 million businesses. It's the ones that sit there and think that the technology is the thing that's important, the technology skills that are important. It's not. I'm not saying that it's completely unimportant. It's because the business is important. It's the ability to act on the technology that's important. And more times than not, and this is advice I give, I've had this come up in events I've been at over the years. People will say, well, I can't grow my business. I said, and I start asking probing questions. And what is it that they typically find is that if they start to experience growth, their first investment is in the technology delivery. another technician, another knock position, somewhere along the lines of service delivery. And I said, that's the wrong answer. If you're experiencing growth, stress your delivery resources, invest in more sales. And because it's the sales that generates revenue.
And you made hold on, let me jump in here real quick.
No, go ahead.
So you made mention earlier, and now you're saying that you said something which I'm probably putting. My math may be wrong. However, you said earlier about MSPs partners being overwhelmed, and that's why they lose out on part of their business.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think that, and now you just mentioned about the lack of sales too, right? Sales teams, etc. One thing that we see often is, especially in the MSP world, they want to hire a salesperson. They don't really have a definition of what the salesperson really is. Just salesperson.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. So I'm at this small MSP event in Los Mosley's, and otherwise known as Phoenix. And
I think you were trying to go for Mos Eisley. Is that
that's it? Whatever. It's whatever made up name that was.
I mean, I got it. So I've had enough of this that I got it right away. And I'm like, yeah, that was funny to me regardless. So I'm like, okay.
Anyways, I'm listening to these two guys talk about how they want to retire. Now, they probably were 38 maybe, and they're like, we have to have $5 million to retire. I'm like, interesting. Well, how are you going to get that $5 million? Well, we're going to sell our business because that's what everybody does. If you read Joe Peneteri, everybody's selling their business.
Oh,
okay. Not everybody is. We can get an entire, and I've talked, Joe's a good friend, and he and I talk about this. It's a good shtick, but it's not real. And I said to him, I go, so tell me how you're going to do that. And they start going down the list. I said, okay, first, you realize that the number you're looking for is wrong. And second, you're not going to make it. And they go, why? And so I started explaining. I started doing the math. I said, you need to do more sales. You need to generate more of your business. And I said, well, so how do we do that? I said, well, hire salespeople and expand your coverage. And literally one of them starts writing down, hire good salespeople. And I said, wait a second. Did I say good? I said, hire salespeople. Well, don't you want them to be good? I said, look, every salesperson, good or bad, has 10 customers that will always buy from them.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge is whether they can sell to another 10 or not. And if they can't, you get rid of them. They're like, what? I go, yeah, salespeople are disposable. And salespeople know that. Good salespeople, if you get them, they are worth their weight in gold. But if you're just, most salespeople are churn and burn.
I have one of my salespeople on this damn call. You're killing me, Larry. He's gonna start tomorrow with Mr. Larry Walsh of the 2112 group said that we're indispensable. Are you fucking killing me, Larry?
No. I said I didn't say I said they are dispensable, not indispensable.
Oh, they're dispensable. Like we can okay, I got you.
Oh, so therefore there's gonna be some trauma.
Sir, you're doing a lot of talking. You're not drinking, Mr. Lardo. He said namaste, sir.
Sorry. Okay, well, we'll follow up with unprecedented.
I'm following up with a trip to the liquor store tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we will say, and we got to figure out. So why don't we do this?
Oh, Michelle! Thank you, Michelle, for finally joining our call.
My beautiful wife and CFO. Is that? Oh, wrong, Michelle. I thought it was my wife.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. This is James
Baines' she doesn't do that.
Wife and whatever.
Yeah, the other beautiful Michelle. So I will say we will figure out when we do our pick'em, the results next week. The audience member, not the staff, Danny, that gets we will pick the number. Anybody that gets them right, we will do a raffle of those, and we will try to send them a bottle of Writer's Tears.
I like that. And
in honor of Larry.
And by the way, Kelvin is talking shit. Just to be clear, Kelvin, I've been refilling my glass over and over. Your country is flat. There's not much going on there.
Can I say that this bottle is nearly empty?
So so seriously, it's like when you give out that bottle of Writer's Tears, please tweet it out to Walsh Whiskey because they really do love to hear it. And I truly am. This is truly one of the marks. I tell partners who mention this all the time. You really want passionate customers. And there's very few brands that I will publicly endorse. This is one of them. And because I truly do believe that this is the best whiskey in the world.
Since you're publicly endorsing them, will they endorse us and promote us and pay us?
Oh,
Just
God,
curious.
no.
Once again, we do not have any paid sponsors, but we will absolutely take any sponsorships from any distillers or breweries in the North American region.
Amen.
On our show.
And wait, why did you
take a chug for this? I really like this. I really like this fucking bottle.
What is that again?
This is Willet Pot Still Reserve. It is bourbon. That is my jam lately.
Fantastic.
Which is fantastic. Comes from Willet Distillery. It's a beautiful bottle. I mean, talk about beauty, right? And I'm pretty sure Barbara Eden comes out if you rub it a couple times. I'm not entirely sure. But she calls you Mr. Major Nelson. I'm sorry?
If you rub it, do it in private.
So
if you rub your bottle, do it in private. If that's not the takeaway from this show, if you rub your bottle, do it in private.
Back to climbing trunks. Back to climbing trunks and everything.
In the new normal. Are we at 27%?
And speaking of which, speaking of beauty, you conveniently skipped Michelle's previous comment and you put all thanks, Ray.
I did not. I will never skip Michelle's previous comment because not only is she a beautiful woman married to a beautiful man, Jay McBain is a very sexy guy,
dude, he's
and intelligent,
like crazy.
But he's a fellow Floridian, just like Tony and myself.
Well, but he's not really though. He's a New Yorker.
He's in West Palm Beach.
Now he is.
Jay and Michelle are in West Palm Beach. That counts. That's all I need. So whatever.
No, go to her previous comment before the thanks, Ray, where she talks about my outfit. Because thank you, Michelle.
I see. What if I've heard Larry speak and drink many times before it never gets old, and I see thanks, Ray. I don't see anything else. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I don't see any other comments whatsoever.
And there it is. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for acknowledging because nobody else cares about taste.
And you also missed the striptease earlier, Michelle. I'm just saying. I mean, you missed.
You weren't here earlier, Michelle. You were late, which is weird because you're always on time.
Yeah, Michelle's from Brooklyn. She's seen it all.
But hold on, isn't that the rule? If you're from New York, you move to Florida.
Miss McBain, I have to. You're correct you yet again. I just happen to live in New York. I pay taxes here. I am a Bostonian through and through.
That is. Wow. Yeah, and Jay is a Canadian. You're right.
Why is nobody in New York? Why is nobody from New York actually in New York? They moved to Florida and they say how New York was better.
I swear on a stack of Bibles, I am just here temporarily. It's been 15 years, but it's still temporary.
I would say sorry, but
so can we come back? Can we come?
Come on!
Wow! Yes. Thank you, Michelle.
Wait.
The best comment of the night.
I wear that. I'm going to drop my first F-bomb. I wear that motherfucking label on my sleeve.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. To the mass hole right there. Cheers, my friend. You. That is awesome.
I feel like that should be a new word to add for drinking. My God.
Mass hole? Abso-fucking-lutely. I cannot wait. That is fantastic. I did not know Jay was Canadian. I would never have guessed that.
Oh, I forgot all about that. He and I had the conversation. I'm like, how are you Canadian? Don't drink beer. That's weird.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with Jason. I've never found a good salesperson. That's not true. I found Matt.
You didn't find Matt. I have Matt.
I don't know because I knew Matt since my Matrix. So I'm gonna call bullshit.
Yeah, but you didn't know
back then.
No, but you didn't find no.
But look, it's no oversimplification to say like it is. That's for dramatic effect. But the truth is that you need to focus on sales. Sales brings in the money.
Yeah. And so if let's go with this fictitious MSP, right? You're starting brand new. And I don't think you mentioned the vendor that they should sign up with after OIT, of course, because recurring sticky revenue, that's what you want. But after OITVOIP, who do they sign up with? What's priority number one? Are we cloud solutions? You don't have to name a vendor. Cloud solutions, hardware, software, LOB apps. What are we looking at?
Look, that's not, the vendor is not important. Of course, other than OIT.
You really want to say this before your next call? That's where you want to go.
No. What I mean by that is, look, this is very important, though. it's what is it that you're delivering is what's important. It's not the vendor that's important. You need to be able to say it, and it's great if you want to deliver great VoIP services and you want to manage that on behalf of your clients. That's great. Go with OITVOIP. Ray's got a great company. Please stick with them. But if you're sitting here thinking, okay, now I'm going to start randomly picking up these different vendors, that's not the right answer. You have to remain focused, and you have to start looking at adjacencies. And we have a model that we can show you about how to build out a different practices vertically, horizontally, and along the Z-axis. And that's how we describe it, is because the companies.
I'm pretty sure that was a Missy Elliott reference. You're gonna flip it and reverse it. Yeah, because I mean, I've never known you as a hip hop follower, but that's about as close to Missy as I've ever heard from a prognosticator. Sean, yes, no?
Yeah, no, actually, you're gonna flip it and reverse it, and then you say, no, I'm how many hat, and now I'm hat. That's what happens.
Can we just I'm sorry, you were saying something poignant and thought-provoking, and I don't want to take away from that.
No, here's it. This is the takeaway. OITVOIP, the only thing you need to know.
I agree with that. You know what? Here's the unprecedented OITVOIP. Get your drink up.
I can promise you I was not paid to say that. Seriously, folks.
No, and nor would he take money or whiskey to say that either. So
actually,
I'm not that proud.
Being on it, be in all reality, Larry has offered many of really good advice to many people for nothing through us. He decided to work with us and on very little, but helping us, and wanted to do more. It's kind of his go to market. So
right.
Like Larry and I've been friends for years. We did meet. Actually, we met at the ASCII, or not ASCII. We met at San Diego.
Channel Partners.
No,
Channel Partners.
We met at Bapti. Yeah, that's where we met, and that was years ago. And I watched them talk, and it was very impressive. I think the big thing I think you said something really good about overwhelming of MSPs.
About flipping and reversing it.
Flipping and reversing it. But I also saw Brian had said earlier. He's from Baltimore, but he has good points sometimes. And he said that a majority of his business comes from themselves, not from vendors, as a partner. I don't think any vendor will disagree with that. I think it's about finding vendors that can help you. And Ray said about becoming sticky. What the fuck is that?
Those are the next lines of the fucking song. I'm reading the fucking song. That's what it says. That's what the fucking song says, dude. I can't make that up.
I know. I looked it up too.
Did you?
I couldn't say it. I couldn't say because I didn't know how to say it.
Yeah. So, and we're gonna get Larry to sing the lyrics to WAP later on. I'm pretty sure. No.
I'm more of a Cardi B guy.
That's WAP. That's WAP.
If someone's going to take $20 from me, it's going to be Cardi B.
Amen. Her and Megan.
Oh, dude. I'm just. I can't even go anymore.
I want to get back on track. We have a pick'em league. We have to pick some teams. We have to pick some games. So we're gonna do this shit live. I agree, Michelle.
Okay. Hold on, Michelle. I love you to death. You cannot put paragraphs in this shit and expect us to read it. We are a pop-up book, coloring book audience.
Amen.
I strongly recommend follow Michelle on LinkedIn. Follow Michelle on Facebook. She posts in all the groups. She has thought-provoking, insightful, well thought out, logical, well-reasoned blog posts. For the love of God, this is not the audience. I can't read that many lines. We keep saying the new norm, namaste, and unprecedented.
Oh my God, that's three drinks in a row. I'm gonna finish this beer, Calvin, bitch.
It's flat like his country.
I will say this. Michelle's not wrong. You do invest in your people. You do provide them with the resources and the support that they need. But if they don't deliver, what do you do with them?
You beat them.
But isn't
Beating that.
Government mule time.
I'm sorry, but
But isn't
You
that
know,
comes
because,
to the definition of what a salesperson is and what you need? Like far too often, partners think if they hire a salesperson, it's the next coming of Christ. And I hate using biblical terminology, but
so
when it comes,
I want to put this out here real quick. Jason and Shiva Grid, which I don't think you've corrected me yet.
Shiva,
I'm gonna call you Shiva because until you correct me, I'm gonna call you Shiva.
no, it is Shiva because Shiva is the god, and he said it actually earlier.
I apologize for missing. I'm sorry, I was drinking. So
Sorry, Shiva, I got you covered.
we do more professional webinars once a month, and we stopped because of CCS. We're picking them back up. I think we have one coming up this month. They are the MSP thought leadership teaching, ask all the fucking questions, get all the fucking answers. Let's build your MSP, make it freaking awesome, make it a powerhouse, so that Larry's talking about you being one of the 1%ers or one of the 20%ers as opposed to the other guys. The partner first webinars are exactly that. We're not saying don't ask the questions here. I'm saying we answer more of those questions at partner first webinars. So I invite you, if you guys have only known us from this, because this is what we're doing recently, please also attend the partner first. We will put it out at the end of this. I'll put a list of the upcoming ones.
Oh, so Jason's the man. Jason is actually, Larry, you'll love us. Jason's one of our white label partners. He's very good.
And I want to say, Jason, you're obviously our choice, by the way, brother. So just so you know.
Yeah, agreed. So Jason's one of our newer white label partners down there in Louisiana. And
is he from Nolens? Because I feel I have to say Nolens.
No.
Yes. No, so my ex-wife went to Tulane, right? And I visited the French Quarter and Hog's Breath, and I love me some French Quarter. Just saying.
Agreed. And so Jason's from New Orleans, and I will call it New Orleans. And
Nolens.
They're making the move over to MSP. They hired a guy that has started MSPs, and that's how we started working with them. Actually, I met them through Everything MSP with Dan's group, and they have a very good go-to-market strategy. They've already done well. They're already successful in their own right, and they've been making that move over to full services. And the team is phenomenal. They're smart as shit. And Larry, one thing about you don't get a chance to see everything we do here, right? You don't get to see how interactive we are, and we would love you to join onto the subreddit that Ray runs over there that he manages. And get involved because you'll find a lot of cool shit.
I have no doubt. I think that and look, there's so much opportunity in the market.
Mm-hmm.
There's still plenty of room in the market for people who just show up. It's the ones that actually come to the table with a plan that do really well. And I'm not saying you have to be $1 billion company or even 100 million. You can be a very successful $2-5 million company. That's not, the size of your company is not a measure of success. The measure of success is, are you achieving your relative objectives?
Sure.
And are you satisfying the customer? That's the only thing that really we have to concern ourselves with. So. And I love seeing traditional companies branching out because the market is changing. It's not to say that the traditional models are going to go away. They're not. They're still going to, we still need, there is absolutely, nobody has figured out a way to get to the cloud without hardware. So we still need hardware to do everything we do. So there's still plenty of great opportunities out there for everyone.
I would agree. So let's get into the Pick'em League because that's way more important than anything else we're talking about today.
It really is.
So hold on. Michelle asked real quick, what's the name of my subreddit? It's not my subreddit. I'm just honored enough to be the only vendor that's the moderator of the subreddit. It is reddit.com/r/MSP. There are 100 and I think it's 80 or 90,000 MSP participants on there. And we're definitely looking for people that can bring insight. Michelle, you are very welcome to bring insight to the group. Larry, absolutely, without question. Jay, without question. Please, there's plenty of people that could learn from you guys and benefit. Also, our Discord specifically for our partners, for our white label and channel partners. If you're not a partner yet, talk to Sean. But go join our Discord. There are no clients there. This is a safe space for us to talk about what partners find most interesting and how to make them succeed. And our Pick'em League, go.oit.co/NFL2020.
Can we get into that now? Let's get right into that now.
Can we ask real quick, can Larry sing the Star Trek theme now that he's a little buzzed? We want to see how prepared you are for your Asian prospect. So
wait.
Pick any of the themes.
You want me to sing the lyrics?
Are there lyrics?
There are actual lyrics. You don't know this?
How would I know this? I know there's 20th Century Fox.
He doesn't watch Star Trek.
Anyway, go ahead. That's the beginning of Star Wars.
That's Star Wars, yeah.
Right. So
it's the only 20th Century Fox that does now no longer exists. It's the only one that's owned by them or was owned by them.
So true story is that Gene Roddenberry created Star Trek. Alexander Courage is the one who created the original theme. And because Roddenberry didn't want to give up all the royalties, he wrote lyrics to the original theme song so that he can cash in on the royalties.
Wow. I'm reading Michelle's exactly. That's what I was reading. Is it worth it? Let me work it. Put it my thing down, flip it in reverse.
If that is not the Star Trek theme, that should be the Star Trek theme. So
it's definitely the Brooklyn theme.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. I've practiced long and hard in this new norm to be able to sing theme songs.
That's horrible. Let's get that rolling.
Speaking of, I have a DJ mix specifically for the Imperial March. I will do another time.
All right,
this is not the audience for that.
On to the Pick'em League.
Pick'em. Sean is dying for the Pick'em. Go ahead, Sean. I
mean, it starts.
I know you're dying for this.
The first game starts very soon. We got to pick up before the game. I'm sorry, I didn't pick the schedule. Roger Goodell and his Infinite Wisdom did.
Yeah. So, Mr. Larry Walsh, I think we should pick tonight's game. We should pick tonight's game. And I'm so fucking happy to hear this song. It's just this is what makes me happy. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, yes.
It makes me want to take a knee.
It does.
Oh,
no, we said no politics, sir. We are holding to no politics, sir. Is Larry drinking straight from the bottle? I think at this point, I will go straight from the bottle. And again, we have no.
Larry is sponsored by
no sponsorships. We are sponsored by Writer's Tears. It is a gently spiced with bursts of ginger and butterscotch in the background with notes of toasted oak. Of course, I'm reading this because I'm nowhere near that. I've never tasted it yet.
It sounds fucking delicious.
It does sound fucking delicious. Talk about it. Check it. Long, elegant finish with subtle notes of milk chocolate and almonds. I mean,
although I think I'd rather be sponsored by Hendrix.
How does it coat the glass? Is this a thick pour or how does it?
Yeah, like a trunk.
I know because I see Larry turning it.
No, it's a nice elegant pour. I mean, it actually does a nice job of. It has a very caramel finish, so it actually, drains down the glass rather well.
I'm a very big fan of caramel. That's why I like bourbon so much because so much of it is caramel. On the nose, flashes of apple. Flashes of apple with hints of vanilla and honey over distinctively pod base. That is called the proximity effect. So, for anybody that does radio. So let's get back into let's get back into the fucking pick'em. All right.
Yes.
What do we have here? We have. Let's see if I can get some screen share. Larry, who do you have tonight, sir? What are we doing here?
I'm going to take Mahomes for $1 billion.
He's already trying to get $1 billion.
And no, actually, he kind of did. That's the point. Yeah. Like he totally.
Look, it's hard. It's hard to say that opening night this season. No, without the preseason, with a limited camp, I still see Mahomes rolling over. Although I will say. Andy Reid is an overrated coach, but fine.
Hey, whoa! He came from New England, from the Philadelphia Eagles, sir. You take that back.
Yeah, so Ray's from Miami but loves the Eagles somehow. It's weird. Just so you all know.
You know what? I just remember,
What is
when the Patriots beat Andy Reid and the Eagles in the 04 Super Bowl, but okay.
Yeah, you're very mad about that.
Listen.
So, okay, well, let's be very clear. Where I can't disagree with you, Larry, by the way. I feel like, and hopefully Andy Reid learned, but I feel like Donovan McNabb was left out to dry for years with no wide receiver until Terrell Owens. Until Terrell Owens, that was the only time. Dude, your number one receiver was James Thrash for years. James Thrash was never number one receiver. His last name was Thrash. It rhymes with trash. I mean, just want to point that out. So I agree to that point, Larry, that you're right. When it comes to selection and talent, he's not very good at that. But even with a subpar team, his defense was always pretty good. And he had Brian Westbrook, one of the best receivers.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. Are we not going to acknowledge fucking Brian Westbrook?
We can, but it's only one person, and you can't do it with just one. Okay,
one person. Like fucking Brady's not one fucking person. He's one person. Okay, fine. Whatever.
No, Brady had Gronk, and Gronk was a beast. Brady had a great offensive line for many years. Yeah, he absolutely did.
I think Brady proved that if you deflate the football, he can make it work with anybody. I think that was very clear.
High school physics student will prove you wrong on that, but that's okay.
Or record the plays. But you're right, though. They have a lot. There's a lot of gates involved with the Patriots, but I'm not going to talk about the gates. And it's not Bill Gates, but I just think that hopefully, to Larry's point, that he's not been great, but he's been kind of great because he's gone to the NFC Championship many times with Philly, and I think it's just a matter of learning about talent and staffing.
I feel Danny's calling me out, and I feel I need to answer this. I was a Dolphin fan when we beat the Eagles last year. I need to say this, okay? I am born and raised in Miami, sir. That means I remember Miami Dolphins #1. That is our fucking song. I don't care who we sold it to. I completely back whenever a Dolphin kicks a football through the uprights. I don't care if it's a Jim Carrey film. I stand behind it. I watch the Dolphins like I watch my son's T-ball. I support them. I enjoy it. It is what it is. When I want to watch professional football, I watch the Eagles or the Packers. But I support my team. And if I have to choose my son's softball team versus a real football team, I will pick the Dolphins every time. That is without question. So, Danny, if you're going to call me out for that, you're calling me out for backing up my son. You should tell your cousin that. Just saying.
Well, let's go pick these games. Let's go.
Let's pick this shit. Okay, Houston versus Kansas City. Mr. Larry Walsh. I know you've said some words. I will let you put it down right now.
No, I'm going to put
Houston
it down.
versus Kansas City. KC, you think it's KC? Sean,
are we going by the spread? Are we going by the spread in this? I'm just curious, or just straight up?
Dude.
I know.
I've had a lot of fucking drinks. You're not taking notes. I'm fucking taking notes. I'm not going to watch this shit tomorrow. I want to watch football in a few minutes. Call your fucking thing.
Okay.
And I just forgot what Larry picked. Larry, you picked KC?
He's going, yeah, and I'm going to...
I'm going to go with Chicago.
I'm going to
go with the New England Bears. How you like them apples?
I love that shit. I'm going to go with KC.
Oh, you fucking followed.
It's hard not to pick. Let's be
know,
clear.
And as much as I love the Texans, I don't disagree, and that's my problem. I want to. I really, really, really want to. Even though we had the TJ versus JJ Watts question earlier today, that was a whole conversation on its own.
It was.
Sean was of the impression that JJ Watts played
I was
for
under
Pittsburgh,
impression. I just said the
which
wrong.
Which is kind of weird.
I used the wrong first two letters. JJ, TJ. Who knows? That's all I did.
They're different people, sir.
I know, but it's just TJJ. It's just there's a lot of J's
Mike
involved.
Cooper versus Bradley Cooper. They're different people, sir. People have feelings. I'm just saying.
Well, they don't care.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant DB Cooper versus fucking anyway. So they're different fucking things.
You proved my point completely.
What did
DB Cooper? So, all right. So again, I will put this up. Go.oit.co/ what do we put? NFL 2020. Go set your pick. Sign up at CBS. I'm sorry, we didn't think about this well enough in advance beyond today to put this shit together ourselves.
We got excited.
We got really excited. We prematurely ejected this shit. So we have Sportsline. Go sign up. And like I said, whoever gets this right, and pick your next 2 weeks, by the way. Whoever gets this right, if you got both of them correct, we will put you in a raffle. We will send you a bottle of Writer's Tears if your state doesn't preclude it. If it does, we'll figure out something else.
Amen.
And so one thing we do, and I know I want to be respectful of your time because we're already 5 past, and honestly, I don't give a shit about your time. I want to go watch football. But real quick, I'm going to take Sean off. I'm going to take myself off. Larry, this is your 30 seconds. Usually we do this pre-drinking, but I'll give this to you now. Why don't you give your 30-second elevator pitch for the 2112 group and why people should think you're relevant, sir?
Ray,
go ahead.
Stay here. Come back, Ray.
Oh, shit. Okay. Fuck. Okay. I'm here, man.
No, look, we've talked about this, is that I'm not here to pitch anybody. I'm here because I like working with great people. Ray, you and your team are fantastic people, and the partners you have surrounding you are truly a testament to the business that you've developed. And I actually just want to thank you for having me on here tonight because, a lot of jokes, a lot of, definitely a lot more drinking than I anticipated. Namaste. But truth is that this is what this industry is about, is that it's communal in nature. We are able to share the things that 2112 does is that we're here to ultimately, of course, we have to pay the bills, but we're here to share intelligence. And one of the things that I really applaud you and your team for doing is that you are enabling your partners with the resources that they need to succeed. And that's something that should be applauded. So cheers to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
No. And again, one other thing just to say to Tony Francisco, he deserves every black eye he gets. So
it hurts me because he has such a pretty face. He's such a good looking guy. And every time if I didn't see his martial arts myself, I would absolutely question if it was Kelly. And I could see Kelly kicking his ass without question. But seriously speaking, you're a humble and wonderful man, sir. I know I take it to heart that if we were absolutely full of shit, if we were doing it wrong, if we were going the wrong path, I trust you enough to know that you would call us on it and you would tell us, hey, you guys are fucking up. Do it better. And with that, I appreciate you. To all the MSPs out there, Larry's not selling to you. He has no interest in selling to you. He's talking to the partners that enable you. You want to know what's important to them and what they're thinking, follow the man, because the man knows what he's talking about. And I don't say that lightly. So cheers to you, sir. We appreciate you. And thanks for taking a few hours with us. We definitely appreciate having you on.
By the way, Matt sent you the video. Matt sent you the video.
Oh, did he really? Where did he fucking send me the video? Because that'd be an awesome closer right there.
Microsoft Teams, not a plug for Teams, but in our tech bar. Oh wow.
No, does anybody know? I have a haiku for Teams. Dead serious. I have a haiku for Teams. I will find this. Sean, if you can DM me the link so I don't have to look for it. I am going to find the haiku so we can do a little bit of multitasking in the last few seconds of this.
You have to look in the Tech Bar podcast Teams.
No, copy paste DM it to me, bro. I'm not doing that.
Mod on.
Let's see here. Where's my fucking haikus?
We're really destroying the image of tech experts here.
Hey, man, that's what we do. That's what we do here. We defy. It's all in unprecedented times.
Oh, namaste, motherfucker.
You're welcome, Larry.
Yeah, it's just such a wonderful fucking thing. So I will put it on here. I have a SoundCloud account because that's the way I roll. And it has my haiku. I strongly recommend you go listen to it because that's just how we do things here. Let's see here. Where's the fucking haiku? Because it's a moment of beauty. It's not something I wrote myself. It's something my MSP partners wrote, but it's fucking awesome. Go listen to it, because that's just how we do things here. Oh, here we go. We got from Rich Banky from where'd it go? For some, Teams is good. Ray will say, Teams, fuck you. We will still use Teams. That is our haiku for Teams. Go listen to them. They're actually pretty funny. They're fun. So, yeah, that's the way we do things. Just saying. So yeah. So anyway, Sean, final notes, sir. You got it. Go for it.
I had to find. Wow, that's a lot of pressure. Thank you, Larry, for being a part of this. It was awesome to have you. You've been a good friend for years. You've always been a true advocate to vendors and partners, which is weird because you're kind of a dick. But no, seriously.
You know what? Wait a second. Again, I'm going to own that right there.
Wait, Matt. Here's to your mass hole.
My masshole.
But I will say it's been a great show so far with you. Thank you for being a part of it. I hope everybody picked up something from this, regardless of whether it's smart or dumb. I hope you picked up something. Thank you for helping us entertain our partners and our audience. I think it's a big deal. and speaking of entertainment, let's put on Matt Conley, Jim Brewer.
This SoundCloud. That's why. I got it. Are we good now?
Yes.
All right. Here we go.
You're welcome, Matt.
Oh, hey. You must be here to check out the services you requested for OITVOIP. My name is Matthew Connolly, and I'm an account manager here, and I want to make this a peaceful transition for you. So feel free to reach out with any questions, and I look forward to working with you.
There's that stupid beard again.
It just makes me that video just makes me so bad. He had that teenage beard going on. It was in patches.
Seriously,
Wait.
It was like,
guys,
Larry.
What was that, Larry?
No, look, seriously, he has a look of like, can you please help me find my lost puppy?
He does. We are honored to have this Matt as our account manager. It's just, if you have found his puppy, if you have found his puppy in the woods, please call 1-800 Namaste.
No. Wait. All I want to. Is that a lost puppy or is that a van, a white van with free candy or free Wi-Fi?
That's a white van with free candy. Hey, come here, kids. That's a white van with free candy with a balloon, with a clown under the sewer with a red balloon. That right there.
That is fantastic.
So with that, we will leave you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once again for joining the Tech Bar, not the Tech Tribe. Tech Tribe from Nigel Moore, actually pretty fucking awesome group. Just gonna say that out loud. But the Tech Bar, thank you very much. This is because we can't be with you at the conferences, even though Larry Walsh was very clear that he would rather flip it and reverse it than attend another conference ever. I don't know what that's about.
No, smack it up, flip it, smack it up, flip it, and reverse it is what he said.
I think what he said was right. So
go on.
I am never answering your calls again.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And I can't fault you for it. I don't appreciate it, but I can't fault you for it. So thank you very much. We appreciate both of you. It's definitely been an honor to have you. Thank you very much. It's been moments of wonderful moments, and we'll go ahead and close it out with a little bit of Missy and Timberland.
And namaste, unprecedented, and namaste.
And namaste.
Namaste, unprecedented, namaste, and unprecedented, and namaste.
Jesus, that's a whole beer for me now. Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Let's see if we can't get this shit ripped from YouTube for fucking